Dawn took the stand without the slightest hesitation. From the earliest days of the trial, her name had circled like a persistent rumor, a possible turning point. What she delivers today isn't just testimony, it's a shockwave. Even Diddy's lawyers sit frozen, unable to mask their discomfort. She spoke about Cassie, not to repeat what gossip blogs had already hinted at, but to walk the courtroom through moment after moment, each one more disturbing than the last. She claimed to have seen Diddy hit Cassie in the face, drag her by the hair, threaten her openly in front of others. There was no drama in her tone, just facts, cold, stark, unavoidable. She described a dinner in a West Hollywood restaurant. That night, she said, Diddy punched Cassie in the stomach in front of label reps and celebrities. No one reacted, no one stood up. Everyone, according to Dawn, kept eating as if nothing had happened. Cassie, she said, left the room in tears. Then came the threats. Dawn explained that Diddy didn't need to raise his voice to make people obey. If you talk, you disappear. She named names: Drock, Roger Bonds, Harvey Pierre. Familiar figures from the bad boy circle, always there, always quiet. As she spoke, Diddy didn't move. He sat still, arms crossed, staring at her. She didn't flinch, not once. No trembling, no tears. Just the facts, delivered with restraint. But everything shifted when the defense took over. Miss Westmoreland, calm, precise, went in with sharp questions. Dawn had mentioned a frying pan. She claimed Diddy used it to hit Cassie. Then she walked it back. She heard a sound, saw a movement, but couldn't confirm if contact was made. The defense jumped on it. Did you see it, hear it, or make it up? The jury, attentive, began to wonder. Yet despite the cracks, something held firm, the core of her story. What she described wasn't a single act, it was a system, a structure of control, fear, and silence. And even if memory faltered, one truth stood tall. Cassie had been beaten, silenced, diminished. And on that day, Dawn chose not to be silent anymore. Dawn continued her testimony, and with each word, the revelations grew darker. She spoke of patterns, behaviors that, according to her, weren't isolated events, but part of a routine. Cassie, she said, was hit multiple times, not behind closed doors, not in secret, but in front of assistants, colleagues, people close to them, and no one stepped in. She described a specific moment in Diddy's New York apartment, just before a public appearance. Cassie, already made up and dressed to go, was allegedly slapped mid-conversation. She walked into the bathroom in tears to fix her face. Dawn remembered watching her apply foundation to her bruised eyelids with robotic precision, as if she had done it before, as if it had become part of her preparation. She mentioned the sunglasses. That day, Cassie wore them. So did Dawn, and so did another assistant. 3 women, all with dark glasses, not to block the sun, but to show silent solidarity. A gesture no one spoke of, but everyone understood. Then she brought up the drugs, a small Louis Vuitton pouch, always nearby. Inside it, she claimed, ecstasy, ketamine, emergency contraception. But what silenced the room was her clarification. Those pills weren't optional. They were imposed. According to Dawn, Diddy wanted to control everything, even Cassie's body. Nothing left to chance, nothing left to her. The murmurs returned. This wasn't just a trial anymore. It was the exposure of a system, a form of total control. Cassie, Dawn suggested, had been isolated, monitored, managed, like property, like something owned. Dawn made one thing clear. She hadn't been paid. She hadn't signed any deal. She wasn't expecting anything. She just wanted to be heard, for the first time, for the truth she had kept locked away for years to finally echo somewhere. But the defense wasn't finished. Miss Westmoreland returned to the offensive, this time focusing on inconsistencies in time and memory. She pushed hard on dates, locations, years. Dawn hesitated. She stumbled. A dinner in 2010? Or was it 2011? Was it before or after Los Angeles? Every small error became a weakness. And in a courtroom, weaknesses are weapons. Yet through all the gaps in memory, one thing echoed again and again: fear. Dawn described a heavy atmosphere, a constant tension, the feeling that a single wrong word could spark a storm, that everyone knew but no one dared to speak. She recalled how, even after everything, Diddy reached out to her several times. She answered politely, kept up appearances, but deep down, she understood. He was still trying to control the narrative, still trying to control her. She also revealed that Diddy had forbidden people in his circle from speaking to Cassie. Every time she tried, someone stepped in, as if Cassie had become untouchable, or worse, owned. Then came the moment that froze the room. A chilling scene, described in detail. After an event, in a van, Dawn sitting in the back, Cassie up front next to Diddy. He allegedly grabbed her by the neck, then slapped her in front of everyone, and no one reacted. No yelling, no protest, just that crushing shared silence, the kind born of fear. The jury listened quietly. Some took notes, others stayed completely still, eyes locked on Dawn. And even though the defense had scored points on technicalities, the foundation of her story remained unshaken. Yes, she hesitated. Yes, she corrected herself. But over and over again, she came back to the same truth. A woman trapped inside a system, an environment where violence was routine, where fear was the baseline. When the defense reminded her that she had reached out to Diddy professionally after the events, she admitted it. Yes, she had tried to work with him again, because back then, she still hoped it was possible to separate the man from the monster, because she wanted to save her career, because she was afraid of losing everything. And that's where the case grew beyond a toxic relationship. What Dawn described wasn't just about one man. It was about an industry, a machine where power silences, where fear is enforced, and where careers are built and destroyed behind closed doors. She never claimed to be perfect, but she told what she had seen, what she had endured, what she had buried for years. And as the hours passed, it wasn't just Diddy's image that began to crack. It was the system itself. The final turning point in Dawn's testimony came when the defense attacked a specific detail, the story about the frying pan. In her civil complaint, she claimed Diddy had hit Cassie with it. On the stand, she clarified. She heard a sound, saw a movement, but couldn't confirm if the pan made contact. The defense jumped on that nuance to try to discredit her entire testimony. Some saw it as a weakness. Others saw it as a sign of trauma distorting memory. Dawn herself admitted that memories came back to her gradually, through interviews with prosecutors or conversations with other witnesses. She explained that what she had witnessed was so violent, her mind had learned to bury it. She testified under oath that she had received no money to come forward, no deal, no arrangement. She simply chose to speak in 2023 after Cassie filed her complaint. Her own lawsuit is still ongoing. Despite the defense's efforts, she was never disqualified as a witness. She stood by her account of the most serious allegations, and she explained her inconsistencies not as lies, but as the fragmented recall of someone who lived in fear. And when she stepped down from the stand, the jury didn't see someone out for revenge. They saw a calm voice, a survivor, a former insider who came to tell her truth, not to destroy a man, but to finally be heard.